Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today I'll be doing a review of the Hubsan X4 Plus H107P. As you can see here, this is a pretty cool looking quad, and it is the second version of the H107L. However, I have to state right off the bat that I think this isn't an upgrade, this is a downgrade, but I'll get to that later. It comes with pretty much the same prop guard as before. Some of the other versions, it is a little bit improved. It's got a little bit of a different mounting system with these two latches, but you still have to pull the prop off and then put the guard on. And as for the quad here, the body style is different. I think it looks really cool. However, it doesn't have that sort of arm snap design the original had, so it is less durable in a crash. However, it's very flexible, so I don't think you'd break it. Just the props, really. It's got nice LEDs up front and all around on the arms. I'll show them later. But overall, it looks really cool, I think. Comes with pretty much the same USB charging cable ending in the micro LOSI or Molex connector. You get, you get a full set of spare props, 2 whites and 2 blacks, as well as a tiny little screwdriver, so it's kind of disappointing that you don't get the prop removal tool. You get a battery, and now the battery is upgraded from the older versions. It is a 520 milliamp hour, you can see it there, 520 milliamp hour, 3.7 volt 1S LiPo. And you get an instruction manual, which, since it's Hubsan and it's a Chinese brand, but it's more of an established one, it's in pretty good English with lots of diagrams and everything showing how to do it. It's pretty thick, pretty detailed, so it's a decent manual. It does cost a bit more though, the quad overall. And then here you go with your remote, and it is pretty much the same style remote, actually the exact same style remote as the original Hubsan X4. The sticks are pretty long and nice for pinchers with home flyers. However, you see they're kind of pointed and sharp there, and you have to push in on them to do some modes, and it can actually kind of hurt your fingers and leave little dots in them, if you can see there. But overall, the gimbals are not bad, and it's a decent transmitter, better than some toy ones. Let's go to the battery bay here. Plug this in. This little hatch just folds down, then you stick it in there. Okay, let's plug it in like that, and then you just kind of smush the cables in and latch the door. So not a great battery bay, but definitely could be worse. Now let's turn on the remote, and if you can see, this one does a self-centering throttle, so this does have altitude hold. Whoops, let's fix the camera here. So as you can see, the LEDs are very nice. Let me move the light away. So you have blues in the front, and they're very nice and bright. And if you see, they do kind of leave circles on the ground, so that's pretty cool. And they definitely do look cool when you're flying. Then you have reds in the back, and they're really nice LEDs. Definitely good LEDs, and a little bit of an improvement over the original. Original had great LEDs too. As for your transmitter, you I forget how you go through the settings, how you change the rates on here. Program your own rates in. It is mentioned in the manual. It's different than the original. However, even on high 100% rates on the old versions, you'd be crazy spinning, like, it'd be so crazy. But now 100% total maxed out, it's pretty much like a medium. They pretty much dumbed it way down, and now there is a barometer in there. Like I said, the self-centering throttle stick. And it doesn't even work that well, so it's kind of jumping all over the place. It fights you. Sometimes it makes it almost fly away. And say it's going up and you want to come down, you combat it with bringing down throttle. But if you hold that for too long and it's just not coming down, it'll just drop. So it's kind of... It could have been a lot better if they just would have left altitude hold out, and it would have been cheaper too. You click in your right stick here to change your rates. You can see that's now flashing to change rates. And you click in your left stick, and then you give, or no, I think that's headless mode. If you hold in your left stick and then give a direction and input, it'll flip in that direction. So better flips than you had to on the old versions. You had to like slam the stick, so that's better. You have your trims there, pretty much the same. No shoulder buttons. I don't know why they don't like shoulder buttons, why they like clicky sticks instead, but really not too much has changed. And it mentions in the manual when you put the prop guard on that you need to change the modes. And you need to change it into guard mode, and it says that you have to hold the right aileron, or the right aileron trim here while you turn it on, and then you hold the left aileron trim, or yeah, aileron, man, I'm Man, I'm all messed up. You hold the left aileron trim when you turn it on again to get it out of the guard mode. And I don't know what that does. Maybe it compensates more throttle or something, but I've never messed with that. Really, I've just flown it like that. As for flight times, since this battery is bigger than the old versions, get it out here, it takes about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes to charge. That's what I've been getting, so a little bit longer. However, I've been getting around 10 minutes of flight time on this battery, and it's a 520 milliamp hour battery. So pretty nice long flight times. However, it does drain it down to about 3.4 volts. So if you're going to leave this go and not use it for a while, I would charge it for like 20 minutes before you put it away. So it's around close to 3.8 volts, which is storage voltage before you do that. But other than that, it's not too bad of a quad, and it is still enjoyable to fly. It looks really nice, and it's not loud, but I think the original version, especially since this one, I believe I bought it from GearBest. I just think they messed it up and made it worse, and a lot of other people think the same way, so I can't really recommend it too much. So that was the review, so now let's go to the indoor flight and then the outdoor flight. Let's go check it out. Okay, here we are for the indoor flight of the Hubsan X4 H107P. And just because this one's a little finicky, I'm going to start it off by plugging it in on the ground to ensure a good calibration, hopefully. Shove the wires in, so there we go. Let's get my radio, turn that on. So there we go, the lights are going up, now they're good. So let's arm the motors here, like that. Just bring it up. And now that I'll just leave off the throttle here so you can see. I'll just keep it in the same spot so you can see how the barometer is working. It seems to work a little better inside. You can see it's going up a little bit now. Let's come back down. I have not touched the throttle yet. I'm just trying to hold it in a hover. Now it is fairly quiet. It's very efficient. This design seems to get very long flight times, but it seems the barometer does okay overall. And that's full downwards, and that's full upwards. So let's try setting it at a lower height, right there, closer to the ground. Let's see how it does. So there we go, rising up now just a little, come back down. So there definitely is a barometer implemented, but it's not that good. And you can see it's rising towards the ceiling by itself. I have to bring it down. Put it in 100%, whoops, that was headless mode. There we go, there is 100% yaw. So definitely a lot lower than the original version, which had very fast yaw. And then there is 100% pitch. You can see very slow, sloping, definitely not very aggressive. So they kind of took everything that people liked about the first one and got rid of it. So, I'm not a very big fan of this model. It's not bad overall, but for the price and compared to expectations from the first one, and how good it could have been with just a few simple changes, it's definitely they missed the ball. This is flying at 100% rates here. That's just aggressive as you can get with it indoors. As you can see, it looks very cool. I really like the design. It's the thing I like most about this in the flight time. So it's a great night flyer with those LEDs. Now let's do some flips. I believe you have to hold in the throttle stick for a few seconds and then give your input, and I'll do a flip. You can see very nice flips, very well programmed. You can see that there. See another one. I have to keep adjusting the throttle, it's a little annoying. After the flip it gets off a little bit. You can see very nice flips. So, and a little bit easier to do than the original model, I guess. But overall, a shoulder button would have been much better. I don't know why they don't like shoulder buttons. And the barometer is working fairly well right now. Sometimes, especially outdoors when you're doing faster flying, I've had it almost fly away on me. It just starts to gain so much altitude, you have to hold all the way down, and it's just so off it doesn't come down. So I'm definitely a little bit cautious when I'm flying this one. But really, I think that was all there is to show outside. I show it again outdoors, obviously. So it's coming for a landing. and then you can just hold your throttle stick all the way down. I'm pretty sure it recognizes that once you stopped descending for the barometer and you're still holding down, it'll just disarm like it did there. But you can see the LEDs on the table. They look really cool. So that was for the indoor flight of the Hubsan X4 H107P, the Plus version. So now let's take it outside. Okay, here we are for the flight portion of my review of the Hubsan X4 Plus H107P. So I have it calibrated and everything here. So let's just unlock the motors like that. Now let's take off. Now there's a little bit of wind. It's been picking up a little bit recently, but I haven't touched the throttle yet since takeoff, so let's just see how that barometer performs. It's going up and down a little bit, but overall holding not too bad. Like I said, I'm still just holding it in pitch and roll. Haven't touched the throttle yet. It is jumpy, but not overall that bad. I'm gonna have to go into high rates to fight this wind. Now I am 100% rates, and if you remember, the original X4's 100% rates was so unflyable. And right there, what's happening right now is definitely what I was talking about in my review. The barometer gets confused and it goes up sometimes by itself, so you give down throttle to counteract it. But it just keeps going up, and if you hold down throttle for like 10 seconds, it'll cut the motor, so you crash. So definitely the barometer is very restrictive. And definitely a huge downgrade in this. It just fights you the whole way. It doesn't work. It just the quad itself is pretty good. I mean, if they just get rid of the barometer and give you full manual control on the throttle here, it would still be a lot better quad. But the barometer is just, I mean, it looks super cool. It's not all that loud. Got super nice flight times, like 10 minutes on that 520 milliamp hour battery, so very nice flight times. Great looks, nice lights, decent controller, everything's good. It's just the barometer and the rates. So the easiest things to change, or the easiest things to not change, pretty much, they changed. So I don't even know. So let's try some flips. I read in the manual that you have to wait till the barometer gets situated again. It keeps going up on me. Okay, so I gotta hold in the left stick here. Okay, there we go. That actually works quite well, so I'll hold in the left stick again. And then all you have to do is hold in left stick and then give a direction on your right stick. There's no back and forth, so I feel like that flip method is improved, but they still could have added shoulder buttons. I mean, seriously, why? But it flips pretty well. As you can see, air flips rather well. But let's just do a little bit more flying. Bring it back here. Can't really do a funnel because just flew over my head without looking. The yaw and pitch are too low, and the wind, it'll just blow it out of here. So that was a funnel, really. So yeah, I guess that was it for here. So let me bring it down and land. And then you can just hold the throttle stick down until it disarms there, or you can put both sticks out to the right. Whoops, I just armed it by accident. But there we go, that was my review of the Hubsan X4 Plus H107P, which is their new revamped version, upgraded, but honestly I think it's quite a bit of a downgrade, and it's almost entirely due to that barometer feature. Like seriously, it totally hinders you in flight, and also on something like this, it doesn't work. It just makes it worse. So really, if you want a Hubsan X4 that bad, get the original version. But really, Hubsan, their prices are too much compared to some other ones, so I'd recommend maybe like a JJRC, JJ1000. That thing's awesome, and it's only 30 bucks. It's definitely better than this. So that was my review. Please subscribe if you weren't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.